name is Adil Zarooni. I'm the CEO of Zarooni Investments, a family business office. I believe many the likes of me try to have an impact, try to satisfy not only financial objectives, family, but also social objectives, and have a positive footprint within the country we have been blessed with, and to the wider region and humanity in general. So what drives me is try to have a positive impact on me, my family, my wider family, and my nation. Of course, money is always a reflection of success, but what I guess is equally important, if not that more important occasionally, is a good reputation, a good name, basically, a good reflection on my family name. That's superly important. Challenge is also something innovative. Coming up with something that is not very vanilla brings satisfaction to me as an individual. Again, the size of the impact. If it is sizable, then I feel more satisfied as an individual, and I wish to continue doing so. So I have gone through a journey and obtained experience, and at a point in time, I'd like to also hand over that experience to others. And there where also comes my academic interest. So I'm hopefully a year away from concluding my research thesis on sustaining family businesses, which is something dear to my heart, basically. Naturally, the mobile phone, smartphones are indispensable. They, at many instances, when we hear occasionally that the elderlies had suffered a lot in the older days, which I acknowledge, but basically due to technology today, an individual is able to perform 10 times more than many that didn't have access to such technologies. So accessing those technologies do accelerate dramatically your ability to perform and to produce, basically. So a mobile phone, a laptop, those are indispensable to me. I would say that I stumbled on Hawaii by coincidence. So I didn't plan, but I have to say that I was very positively impressed when I started with the P9, actually. I saw a very small, relatively thin phone. I didn't expect much from it. It had a sizable memory. But the beautiful thing about it was that it took me less than a day to set it up, which was surprising, because with other phones that I've used, it would usually take almost a week to set up because of the size of the contacts that I had to deal with, the number of email accounts that I had to deal with, all the social apps, and every other app that I enjoy, basically. So to have it all set up within a day, the operating system is quite neat. It's quite properly done, I would say. And to see that tiny phone handling all of this traffic and all of these sizable databases, being able to live beyond the day was surprising to me, and continue to actually. I've used it for more than a year, and still I'm very happy with it. The screen size is impressive. It has a beautiful camera, and I know that many are not used to the thumb screen at the backside, or the touchpad at the backside. But it's actually, once you get used to it, it's more functional, actually, vis-a-vis having the one in the front side. So I am happy with that. The memory size is astonishing, 128. Having dual SIM is very important for me because I travel a lot, and having that in place is interesting. I think they've added NFC on this versus the P9, which is good. It's useful. It will be more useful down the future. Processing power is great. I'm very happy with it. As I've highlighted earlier, I believe, first of all, the size of it is interesting. In respect to the battery life, which is great. And I think the biggest advantage that I see with this phone is how neat the operating system is. So I'm very happy with that. I think Huawei deserves a place in the top notch of brands. I'm very impressed with the way they were determined in getting their brand to where it is today. So I think they have room to grow further, and I already see it has superseded few other brands with their ability. So I wish them the best, and I hope they keep doing what they do. Basically, phones nowadays basically run our lives. So the calendar is there, and you have to have the notes. You have to keep having notes. I use a lot business card scanner, which is very important for me. And of course, social media like WhatsApp, emails. Their email client is quite unique. I've tried a few email clients. The Huawei one is really decent. It's very beautiful. Works. When you have many email accounts and you have all the phone calls that come to you, at many instances, even conferencing, video conferencing, batteries run away very fast. We are heavy consumers. So having a decent battery is very, very important. And I don't think it's about the size of the battery, it's just that the operating system is good enough to make sure that programs don't play around and unnecessarily consume CPU power, and hence leave the battery alone. And with that, you can have a phone that stays with you for a whole day without the need to recharge, which is not very common. I think it sits at the top of the important things in a phone for us. We would love to have phones that never die, but the battery-wise, only natural to have. And having a decent phone with a decent size that is capable and smart and survive for more than a day is an achievement. So I'm very proud of that. Of course, in business, there's no shortage of ideas. And at many instances, there's no shortage of the needed money, at many instances. But there's always a shortage in people. This is why it's super important to have the right people around you. Super important to make sure that you partner with the right people in doing things. It's very hard to do everything yourself. So don't even try, basically. Just find the right people to partner with. And when you find good people, just stick to them, because it's very rare, very seldom, or very rare to find good people to work with, to partner with. So people is my first lesson. We don't, and the other aspect that is linked to having people around is that in business, you will always face bad times. So you need people to stick around when bad times happen. To people that will actually step up and fix and share responsibility with you. It's very important to have. A lesson that I am very thankful that I've done, one way of doing things I'm very thankful that I've done, was never to really shortcut. To stay ethical, to do the right thing all the time. It's very hard to do so. Many times you would be seen as fool. people might actually misuse such attitude. But it always pays back in one way or another. In many instances, it will just pay back by the mere fact that people will say, look, your reputation is impeccable. This can cost you money, but ultimately it pays off in such fashion. The other aspect is that people will never find anything against you, which is important. When you always try to do the right thing, the right way, people will never be able to twist an arm, basically. So that is I'm thankful for. I think these are few lessons. and do things you like to do. Don't force yourself. There's always the concept that I refer to as my kind of money. So my kind of money is something that I need to enjoy. I enjoy doing. It's not easy. It's not the easiest, the most obvious things to do at any point in time, but it's important to do things that you enjoy. And never forget your family and your friends. So at many times you get driven by work, and you miss living actually. So try and bring a balance. It's very hard, very hard. But it is important, and every now and then an individual needs to stop and rethink their life and how balanced is their life. So these things we should never miss. I don't think there is a specific moment, but basically overall achievements that I am proud of. First of all, with bringing up the family office, I believe I brought my family closer to me and to everybody. So they're closer to each other, basically, which is a very beautiful thing. They are all proud of this setup, and they feel that they are related to it and related to its success, which means a lot to me. On different investments, I have been blessed with few success stories. And those success stories have had a beautiful impact, at least on the society that I'm with. The likes of a business that we have established, and now it's owned by NMC by the name of Provita, which is a long-term health care facility. The likes of Cambridge, which is another setup that I have. When I always hear good news of us being able to support families and patients become better, it's always self-satisfying. Same goes with a number of technology companies that I'm lucky to have invested in, the likes of The Entertainer, the likes of MyBox, all of which have a positive impact in societies that we serve. So when you see them successful, you see people happy with what they deal with or what they pay for, basically, and they get more value than the perceived, than the actual value. It always makes me feel good about it. And the likes goes with more businesses that I'm in. So I'm always proud of these overall impacts. Many at times I get asked, what is the definition of an entrepreneur? I believe an entrepreneur is somebody that has tried something and was able to get his head above waters, let me put it that way. And those what I define as entrepreneur. Very hard to define what is an entrepreneur, but for me, somebody that have tried something, got his head above water, which is just enough to claim that tag. I don't consider myself an entrepreneur, let me put it that way. I think there are others that have went through a much harder journey and has achieved way more, and I look up to them, and I hope that one day I could have a fraction of the impact they've done, and I would hopefully onto my society and my family. I think depending on the role you play, having the right people around you, having the right activities, the balanced set of activities within the day, whereby you feel value, with the likes of having necessary meetings, looking at troubleshooting certain businesses, sports, time with the family, so a balance. So having the right people, having a balance in activities, and it's always useful to have technology around that can enable you to do all of them, in fact. So all of these do unleash the potential of an individual. That's my opinion.